Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we talk all things Marvel and pop culture. I just got done finishing watching She-Hulk episode 8, and this is probably the best episode yet for so many reasons. I really enjoyed this episode, but before we get into the spoiler review, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below, share it to at least 3 people you know if you're new. Join my Discord in the link in the description. Hit that ding button to get notified when I post. Follow me on all my socials, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitter. It's all in the link in the description below. So go join up. So let's get into spoiler review for She-Hulk episode 8. So the episode starts off with Frogman. He calls himself Leapfrog in this episode. So Frogman, Leapfrog, and pretty much he's got a rich dad that knows the boss of Jennifer Walters, and she works for it. And she's pretty much forced to take, not really forced, but, you know, she has to take on his case about, you know, his suit and everything. And the thing is, it creates a rift between her and his suit. The person that created his suit is also the person that creates her suits. So, forget his exact name, but Luke Jacobson. Yeah, Luke Jacobson. He's the one that creates both of their suits, and that creates a rift between them. And she tries to go and talk it out, and, you know, it goes downhill. So they ultimately go to court, and, you know, he's sitting there by himself at first, and he's like, you know, I'm not that stupid to not bring a lawyer with me. Enter Matt Murdock. Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock, and I love him in this role. Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock. I love seeing him back, and so he's pretty much owning her in the case, and they ultimately win. What we got from this is the Sokovia Accords has been repealed, and it's pretty much not effective right now. So that is very interesting moving forward, and the Sokovia Accords really has no impact right now in the MCU. And then next we go to, oh yeah, and before, she was like, you know, can you still make my suits? He's like, no. And that, you know, that the whole thing between them two, this whole episode was pretty funny. But then we go to the bar, and Matt Murdock is there, and he buys Jenna, you know, drink. And, you know, this is when you could see the dynamic between Charlie Cox and Tatiana Maslany, and that, you know, they had so much good chemistry throughout this episode. I hope we see more of them in the MCU. Maybe as a relationship, I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully she'll be in Daredevil board again. But continuing on, and, you know, you can tell they have a connection. And, you know, Matt Murdock in his senses, he knows this stuff. He's like a player, you know. And they're talking about, you know, how he had that inkling of the boosters, jet fuel boosters the dude had on the suit that he wasn't supposed to have or supposed to use. And, you know, they were talking about that. And then he ultimately ends up getting a call. So she ends up going back to her place. And then she also gets a call from Frogman, Leapfrog. And it's pretty much that chase. I didn't watch it, but the chase that the teaser scene they released. And Daredevil's on the car, and pretty much, and then we get to Daredevil and She-Hulk fighting for a little bit. It's funny banter, and some people have a problem with, you know, some of the stuff that Daredevil said, but I thought he was completely in character. This it was pretty funny. It's like, you know, he's more seasoned than her, and he's like, you know, and there was just little comments like that. And another thing is, the Netflix show theme was playing. But before that, she talks off his mask, and she sees it's him. It's like, oh, it's you. And, you know, they ultimately know Frogman's the bad guy in this, and they have to go after him now. But the Netflix theme is playing, and she's like, you know, he was like, I'm Daredevil. And then it's like, oh man, does that mean that the Netflix show is officially canon to the MCU? I don't know, but, and then, I don't know. I hope it is. I've been hoping that it is. It'd make it easier, but unless, you know, for everybody else so that hasn't seen it, make it a priority to see it. I don't think people would want to watch it, but it's a fun series to watch on Netflix, but it's not on Disney Plus now. But Then, you know, we ultimately go to him, and he has the suit guy, and he's pretty much keeping him captive and making him make a new suit for him. So, you know, they're outside, Jen and Daredevil, they're outside, and he's talking about how he can, like, sense people and, like, their heartbeat and all that. And that's another, you know, thing of, like, oh my goodness, this is like another connection to the Netflix series. But it's also, you know, Daredevil. And, you know, she starts, like, staring at him. You know, it's like little flirting stuff she did, and he can tell. And then they ultimately, there's another great hall fighting scene from Daredevil. It's not as good as the Netflix show, but, man, it was pretty good. And then ultimately, there's other people that are coming after him, and then She-Hulk busts through, handles them, and then they ultimately find, you know, the suit maker and Frogman again, and they start fighting other people. And then she, you know, lets him go, the dude that does the suit. I keep forgetting his name, Luke Jacobson. And then they, you know, she gets him out, and he ultimately runs off and jumps out of, you know, out of the building, then it hurts his leg. But this was ultimately a fun series, and, you know, they go back to her place, and, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. They go back to her place, and, you know, if you know She-Hulk, and, if you know She-Hulk, and, apparently I saw it, I heard they did it in the comics, so if you know what I mean, I'm just trying to keep this, you know, family friendly, but, you know, they did a thing. And, the next scene is funny. He's giving a walk of shame, and he's walking. And yeah, and then her friend comes. People thought she was going to be evil. I don't know why. But they were getting ready for this lawyer celebration. She was getting a reward and pretty much getting dressed up for that. So then we go there. And we see, oh, before I even get to that, let me roll back. The dude, that weird dude, I forget his name, but that we've seen in the past few episodes throughout the season, he's back in here. He's talking about how he's got a Wakandan spirit. And it goes back to him asking if her in She-Hulk form is like, could it be against like vibranium? And now he has like a vibranium sword, like spear from the Wakandans, and he does the Wakanda for everything. It's like, oh man, it was like a whole cringy scene. But we're ultimately at the celebration thing, and he is there. He's like waving at her in a weird way. He's a great actor though, because I saw him and Baywatch with The Rock in that, of course. But he's a great actor. And then we're ultimately, you know, they're calling them up and celebrating them. It's like She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters calling them up, and every lawyer up there that is getting an award for it. And, you know, they're all giving these little speeches, and it comes to She-Hulk, and she's like, you know, I want to thank my family and all that. And then, oh man, pretty much Anonymous, or whatever that organization is called, comes up on the screen, and, you know, the Josh dude, and all the videos and all that, and what, you know, goes back to him, you know, when he was getting stuff off of her phone. All that starts leaking on the, you know, video screen. And then she gets mad, punches that, and then, you know, she's like realizing people are seeing her as a monster. And it really ultimately sets up a great finale. And I can't wait till next Thursday. It ends up, like, she goes after the dude she sees just looking at her, and with a mask on, and she's just choking him, and then she lets him go because I don't know who that was. Was that like an organization or people coming after her like with guns and all that? But it ends off like that. She looks at the screen, fourth wall, and yeah, and that's the episode. I really enjoyed this episode. I give it a 5 out of 5. And again, I really enjoy the dynamic of Tatiana Maslany and Charlie Cox in this episode. You can tell they probably definitely had fun with this episode. And episode 8, yeah, definitely one of the best episodes this whole series. And yeah, they've been like, the only thing is, I'll say, it's like they've been hinting at the big bad the whole season. It's like, oh man, I wish they reveal him at this point. Reveal whoever the person is. I think it's ultimately going to end off with, you know, we know this organization has her blood now, and how is this going to affect her into the rest of the MCU? Is this going to go into Captain America, New World Order? Is it going to go into maybe the Hulk rumored Hulk movie, World War Hulk movie. And you know how the MCU is. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Give it a 5 out of 5 again. And yeah, it was good seeing Charlie Cox back as not only as Matt Murdock, because we've seen him in Spider-Man No Way Home as Matt Murdock, but as Daredevil. And man, it was good seeing him in that suit. And I don't think that's the only suit he's going to be wearing, especially, you know, we know he's going to be in Echo. How much of Echo he's going to be in remains to be seen. And they're filming Daredevil Born Again next year. And I think it's going to be early next year, maybe in May next year. So they're going to start pretty much filming all year next year. 18 episodes of that. I cannot wait. I can't wait for Echo. And he's already rumored to, you know, be wearing a different colored suit already than, you know, what he was wearing. She-Hulk even made a joke about it, like mustard and ketchup suit in this episode. But again, I really enjoyed this episode. You guys leave me your thoughts about this episode. What would you rate it? What would you think of Charlie Cox being back as Daredevil and Matt Murdock again? And what would you rank it? Is this your favorite episode of the series or not? You guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section. But again, smash that like button, comment down below, share it to at least 3 people you know if you're new, and hit that ding button to get notified when I post. So, and then follow me on all my socials, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Twitter, all that. Follow me on all that in the link in the description below. Till next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Love and peace. We out.